In the heart of the Minneapolis music scene, a prodigious talent named Prince Rogers Nelson emerged from obscurity to become one of the most iconic musicians in history. Prince was born Prince Rogers Nelson on June 7, 1958, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. His parents were John Nelson, a musician whose stage name was Prince Rogers, and Mattie Shaw, a jazz singer who performed with the Prince Rogers Band. Prince became interested in music at a young age and taught himself how to play the piano, guitar, and drums. His parents broke up when he was about 10, and he and his sister split their time between their parents' homes. Eventually, Prince decided to run away and moved in with a friendly neighborhood family, the Andersons. In high school, Prince had formed the band Grand Central, later known as Champagne, with friends Andre Anderson and Morris Day. At the age of 20, Prince was signed to Warner Brothers Records. His debut album, For You, dropped in 1978, showcasing his incredible songwriting and arrangement skills. The entirety of the album was written, produced, and performed by Prince himself. In 1982, Prince finally achieved his first top 10 album on the Billboard Hot 200 with the record 1999. This was also his first album to be recorded with his band The Revolution. The first 3 songs on the album, 1999, Little Red Corvette, and Delirious, all became hits, ascending Prince into superstardom. In 1984, Prince went on to create the classic album Purple Rain, which also served as the soundtrack of his semi-autobiographical film of the same name. The movie, however, was almost never made due to the fact that every studio had rejected the premise of a musician-led film. Prince confronted his then-manager Robert Cavallo and told him he would not renew his contract with him unless he got to star in the film, leading Cavallo to produce the film himself. It all worked out in the end, having the movie grossing around $70 million at the U.S. box office and receiving an Academy Award for Best Original Song Score. Purple Rain solidified his status as a musical genius. Not only did he command the charts, but he also pushed boundaries with his flamboyant fashion, provocative lyrics, and innovative blend of funk, pop, and rock. Its melancholy title track reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, while hits When Doves Cry and Let's Go Crazy both reached number 1. Darling Nikki was another tune from Purple Rain that incited controversy due to its explicit vocals. After Senator Al Gore's wife Tipper Gore bought the album for their daughter and listened to the track, she eventually pushed for albums to sport labels that warned parents of graphic lyrics. In 1986, Prince released his 8th studio album, Parade, which included his pulsating number 1 single, Kiss. Parade served as the soundtrack for the artist's second film, Under the Cherry Moon, which he directed and starred in. After the disbanding of the Revolution, Prince was able to consolidate various shelved projects into what ultimately became the double album signed Oh the Times in 1987. By the time he released his 11th studio album, The Soundtrack to Batman, in 1989, Prince had become one of America's most commercially successful pop artists, continually making waves on the charts. Batman offered up the number 1 hit Bat Dance as well as the top 5 hit Party Man. Prince's brilliance extended beyond his solo work. He penned songs that would become hits for other artists. Sinead O'Connor's haunting rendition of Nothing Compares to You was originally written by Prince, showcasing his versatility as a songwriter. This generosity was also apparent in his decision to gift hits like Manic Monday to the Bengals and I Feel For You to Chaka Khan. Prince also worked on specific album tracks for performers like Madonna, Tevin Campbell, Kate Bush, The Time, Martika, Patti LaBelle, and Janelle Monáe. He was behind the girl group Vanity 6, led by singer-actress Vanity and their number 1 dance hit Nasty Girl. One of the most intriguing what-ifs in music history involves a proposed duet between Prince and Michael Jackson. They had intended to collaborate on Bad, but creative differences resulted in the project's abandonment. The early 1990s marked the launch of the new Power generation, which played on the soundtrack to Graffiti Bridge, a 1990 sequel to Purple Rain that didn't fare well. To promote his 1991 album, Diamonds and Pearls, Prince had appeared on the MTV Video Music Awards for the performance of Get Off. Echoing parts of the track's music video, Prince famously turned towards the audience at the end of the song to show off his seatless pants. In 1992, Prince signed a $100 million record deal with Warner Brothers, which was considered the largest recording and music publishing contract in history at the time. This contract allowed him the freedom to pursue TV, film, book, and merchandising deals separately. Much different than the all-inclusive deals that other industry giants Michael Jackson and Madonna had. But under his contract, Prince still felt overly controlled by his label, which led him to change his name to the unpronounceable Glyph in 1993, a fusion of female and male astrological symbols which he used until 2000. During that time, he was more frequently referred to as the artist formerly known as Prince, and his new symbol was not embraced by most fans. Once he was released from all contractual obligations to Warner Brothers, Prince released the 1996 triple album fittingly entitled Emancipation, which went on to become certified platinum. Several other albums affiliated with his NPG labels soon followed, including 1998's Crystal Ball and 1999's Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic. In 2004, Prince was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Later that year, he released his Grammy-winning album titled Musicology with a tour that became the top concert draw in the United States. Prince later took a stand against the changing industry. Due to the internet becoming the primary source for distributing music, Prince was against the trend of having songs shared at will on the web. He fought against the idea of providing his songs to online music platforms without proper upfront compensation or profit sharing, with his tracks eventually only being on the streaming service, Tidal. On the sad day of April 21, 2016, Prince was found dead at his Paisley Park compound in Minnesota. The week prior, his plane made an emergency landing and the singer was hospitalized for what was purportedly a severe case of the flu, though reports later stated that the musician was actually given a life-saving shot for a Percocet overdose. Weeks after the musician's death, a California-based physician who specializes in treatment for those dependent upon and addicted to pain medication had been called upon by Prince's team to aid the musician. Prince had undergone hip surgery some years earlier and was believed to have endured recurring discomfort while giving concerts. The physician had reportedly flown to Prince's compound to initiate the recovery process and was among those who found him dead. While Prince's state of health at the time of his death is unknown, attorney William Mosey said the artist was dealing with a grave medical emergency. On June 2, 2016, it was determined that Prince died from an accidental overdose of self-administered fentanyl. Prince's legacy continued to reverberate through the world of music and beyond. His absence left a void that was felt deeply by fans and fellow artists alike. In death, as in life, Prince remained a towering figure whose impact remained undiminished. His catalog, that was once in distribution battles, gradually found its way back to streaming platforms, ensuring that his timeless hits would continue to captivate new generations. Tributes and memorials celebrated his innovation, boundary-pushing artistry, and undeniable influence on pop culture.